Hi everyone, Gadget here for a new video, new idea that I had since the War League ended. So the Hat War League, for those who don't know what it consists of, basically we were 15 teams consisting of 7 or 8 players. Each week 5 of us would compete against 5 other players from another team, and whoever won the best of 5 won the week. And then there was a standings, a system with, of course, much like the league system in the Premier League or the NBA or stuff like that. So with a goal average and stuff. And then the 4 best teams, I think, would compete in the playoffs with a play-in tournament from 5 to 8, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it was a blast to compete in this War League with my fellow Frenchmen of Atlantic TCG. So yeah, very, very happy to have participated in such an adventure. So what I'm gonna do with a series of videos, which is gonna be a long series, obviously, at least 15 videos, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna go over each of our weeks, match by match, and in the end we'll see how we did. Of course, I'm not gonna spoil anything. So first off, we had our team captain Davy Moran against Enzo, and we're gonna see what they're playing. So Davy is gonna win the rock paper scissors, and so it's pretty obvious from what we see. Mermail against Bujin. So Davy opens a pretty solid hand, I feel like. Lands Tears, Spike, Mox, and Lind, and Hanzo. It's kind of weak hand. Of course, upstart could be anything. So if it turns out to be, Yamato or Tenki or Duality or anything, it could get a lot better. But yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. So infantry for the draw. There's a lot of choices that can be made here. Of course, we don't know what Dev is playing really, but there are instances where you can use Tears, Lind, grab Gund and Pike, search discard Gund to summon Lind, and then Pike searches Undyne for next turn. Or you can also, if he plays Abyss Osher, you can set up lines from there as well. So we'll see. So yeah, Tears, discard Lind, search Gund, and then Spike. Yeah, that's does play Osher, but chooses to go for it. No, chooses to not go for the line that puts Osher on field turn 1. Decides to slow roll it, thinking that Tears is probably gonna stick, especially because he has the Forbidden Lance. So yeah, why not? And of course, getting Lind on board is really good. So Hanzo gets Compulse that answers nicely to Osher, obviously, to a big Osher push, but yeah, it doesn't do much against this opener because these are not monsters that you want to bounce, obviously. Upstart draws Yamato, so yeah, I'm kind of a seer tonight. I predicted basically everything. So Yamato is gonna go into Pike, and then Dev is gonna go Lance. Enzo chains Crane, Dev is losing 2000, but he should be losing 800 less. Unless, well, I mean, Crane could be done after the lance has resolved. So yeah, it doesn't change anything if Hanzo played it like that. So what happens is that Lance is chain link 1 and Crane is chain link 2. That means Crane puts Yamato to 36, and then Lance reduces Yamato to 28. But if you wait until Lance is resolved to activate the Crane, then Yamato goes from 1000 to 36, because Crane doubles from the original attack, so that doesn't double the current attack. So yeah. Anyways, I don't think it will matter much, because in this is not a matchup where the life points matter really that much, especially once Hanzo has resolved an upstart. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Hanzo sets compulse and breakthrough. Probably gonna cycle for. My guess would be Mikazuchi. Discard the turtle. So you have an instance policy in case Yamato gets outed with Mikazuchi, and then it could be Hair as well. Hair is solid against Mermaid, but I feel like Turtle Mikazuchi is really better, because that way you have. Of course, I don't know the list, so maybe it doesn't play Mikazuchi, but because Hair is easy to bait with heavy infantry. Obviously, Hanzo doesn't know that he has an heavy infantry, but yeah, I feel like Mermail can very easily bait Hair and be in a setup where you have to activate Hair, but then it doesn't really matter. Beat with infantry, of course, but yeah, just attacking over, or yeah, Dracosac, or yeah. So yeah, maybe because most of the removal was gonna target anyway. So in Mermail, I mean, so Turtle is basically air. You have Crane, so you do not fear battle, but Hair doesn't change anything for battle, so you could very well just search Mikazuchi, discard Turtle. You have the setup. This is basically the same thing in the matchup. So if Yamato gets dealt with, there's Mikazuchi. Yeah, I don't know. Devi drew Soul Charge, which is definitely very good. So let's think. There's only Pike in the grave that's really relevant for this Soul Charge. Of course, Gund is a body, but I don't think that's the better Soul Charge. Yeah. Yeah, Lind attack, bait something. Of course, in head format, you don't really see Prison that much, even though it's a card, a sleeper card, I think. Yeah, infantry, Gund. Obviously, we're in damage step, so Hanzo cannot activate breakthrough. He could have compulsed, but I think it's a losing play. You want to keep your back row to chain to a marksman. And you see here it's baited so easily, which is something that Turtle would have done anyways. So here is not. No. Turret is in damage step, but infantry is after the damage step now. Okay, Hanzo left the duel. So there's a back and forth, and yeah, infantry triggers in the damage step as well. And if I'm not mistaken, because yeah, Bujin is not really my strong suit. If I'm not mistaken, Turtle can also be activated in damage step in head format, so that was definitely a good play that could have happened. Um, but yeah, here Devi is in really great position because he can Osha, of course. Then you can yeah, you cannot you obviously cannot come full a tears because then he activates it. We know he has gone in hand, so yeah, you have to break through here. Hanzo draws another Yamato. Yeah, and that there we see the inherent problem with Bujins, that you don't really have a comeback mechanism when there's no, yeah, you see. So there he's gonna go for the play that I mentioned, which was Mikazuchi. And obviously, if the first play would have been, if the first search would have been Mikazuchi Dumb Turtle, Mikazuchi can special summon itself in the damage step. So then he wouldn't have lost 34, and then the top deck would have been Yamato, and then I would have had Mika plus Yama, which is so much better than having just a Yamato. So yeah. Little things, little margins. Tears Marksman, so the Tears is gonna eat the compulse, I think, because Mox is gonna bait the compulse. I mean, you have to. You don't want to bounce it, but you have to, because otherwise it's Gaios. It's it's Gaios, and you never come back. And you're already so far behind. So yeah, Pike, Search Marksman, TS for Pike. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of over. Dweller effect, Chain Hair, which why not? But I mean, then you can Tears again, because the only effect of Tears that is not once that is once per turn is the search effect. The other effect is not once per turn at all. So yeah, you kind of waste this Marksman, but you basically a big eye, and then you make, I don't know, something like, yeah, it's OTK. We didn't activate Soul Charger at all. So yeah, Devi takes this first game. Obviously Hanzo is going to go first, and we're gonna see how it goes. Again, a weak hand. I'm not sure if Maxi is good when you're going first against Mermel. I mean, it's not like in Modern where you can set up a board and then Maxi, and your opponent cannot get, if your opponent doesn't OTK you, the game's over. Here it's you want to have cards that can react, especially in hard format where there's no Heavy Storm or Tornade or Cold Wave. You want back rows, basically. I don't know how his side deck looks, but I don't think Maxi is that good when you're going first, because this does nothing. This does nothing in his hand. And see here, those are strong cards against the matchup. Obviously, this is strong against everything, but this is very strong. But yeah, he has to get carried by duality here, so he's fortunate to draw tanky. But Maxi, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, of course, now that he's found tanky, it's good, but I think he would have won anyways. He hasn't won yet, but he would have been in a strong position with or without the Maxi, because here it's just dead in his hand. It's just dead in his hand. He has warning, he has debunk, space against Sphere. So when is it gonna resolve? Because with this setup, I'm not gonna spoil the game, and because first of all I don't know the outcome, but Um, what's happening? Okay, sphere. He's letting the sphere go through. No, 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 no. No, that has to be a mistake. No, 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 no. That's a mistake because if you see Mermail activate sphere, you activate Typhoon. How many targets will you have for this Typhoon? There's only one in the deck. That's the only target. And if this back row is confusing because there's two Typhoons on the board, but if this back row is another sphere, then you have debunk for Lind. But now there's yeah, no, I don't agree with this at all. To be honest, yeah, this I agree with. That's what cost him the recognizing what cost him the game in game one, not getting to Mikazuchi. But now the coast is clear. So yeah, this maxi is good, but yeah, we wouldn't have needed it. Yeah, Turge doesn't have a target, so forced to Aqua Spirit. But you see here, nothing is really threatening. So yeah, this maxi is gonna be a 1-for-1 because it's turtle. No, there's a hair, so yeah. Can activate it again. We have Mika. Yeah, that's well played. That's well played actually. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this maxi was basically upstart, but I don't know. I think we would have been in a favorable position either way, with or without it. It's putting too much into potentially drawing, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, you see, having solid cards when you're going first, so you can keep the momentum in Bujin, I think is very good. You want to have Maxi to come back, which is something that Bujin does really badly, to draw into like Dark Hole or Mind Control or cards like that. But when you're going first, I don't think it's really that good. So yeah, now yeah. Obviously, I'm biased, so I want my teammate to win, but yeah, I don't think he's winning this one. There's a debunk face down, which is obviously really good. There's a debunk face down that so the second lane bites the floor. Bottomless is good as well, and you can keep just. Yeah, pounding with Honest and Mika. Squall, yeah, only one Turge. There's only one Turge, so 3 Mermails. There's only Gund here, so you can set it to go down to 2, and then you have to draw a third one, but yeah, it has bottom, so even if you can resolve it, Turge is gonna go, and yeah, Mermails, they except for Osher and Gund, they all eat the bottomless, so yeah, I'm not sure if Devi should have set the infantry here. If you draw the Squall, I think you should set the Gund to maximize your chances of resolving Squall in this game. Yeah, but finds Yamato. Now he's gonna take the Typhoon, which, yeah, now that I think of it, it's probably the play. But if it's Sphere, you don't want to shotgun it. You want to attack directly. So here, yeah, you want to attack, obviously, but you want to attack with Mika. You want to attack with Mika, and if you normal summon Honest, I think you shouldn't go for Dweller now. Because, yeah, if you normal summon the Honest, you should go for Dweller, because if it's Lind, Hanzo is not in a great spot. Well, he's still in a solid spot, but imagining it's the third land in the game. So yeah, two things happened in this turn. The blind typhoon against mermaid is never good, because it can be sphere, and sphere against a blind typhoon is just full combo. That's the bottom, obviously, but it wouldn't really do anything here. There's so yeah, so you should hold the typhoon, and if you're gonna go in normal summon honest and attack, you should make dweller and attack. You don't attack a blind. You don't attack a blind set monster like this against mermaid. It's too risky, even if the chances are low because two lanes have gone, but yeah, there's 3 in every list. So here, if it's land, summon pike effect, discard gun effect, summon Turch back. You search for Undyne or anything else. You can search for another thing to make to recycle guns. You have so much stuff, and you don't want to give the chance to your opponent to come back. I feel like, and you have bottom, so you're safe. I mean, yeah, you're safe against fear. I mean, you're safe against fear, but you're not safe if you typhoon it like this. So yeah. Anyways, it didn't pay off for Devi, obviously. Those slight misplays, I feel like. So Osha's gonna trade it herself for Lynn's gonna not hit the bottom, obviously. Because as Devi says, and of course I don't have the text here, but it's Typhoon, which you all know. So Osha summons, then sends herself or the target, so you cannot bottomless or torrential Osha. So that's why it's a strong card. But as he points out, it makes it so that Pike misses timing, so it's not that good. So Debunk, Soul Charge, Pike, Lynn, Turge, Marksman, Upstart, Torrential, Hair, Dark Hole, and Tanky. Okay, so 2 solid hands. There I am. Pike, Pitch Turge, go for gun. I mean, maybe he's playing maybe Davis playing the Undyne-less version, because we haven't seen it once. If I recall, it was on an Undyne-less version for some time. But was it here? I don't know. So yeah. Sorry, I got a bit distracted. So Hanzo is gonna obviously Dark Hole. You have the crow for the tried target, and here you have there's the debunk. The debunk that can answer the crow. Do you wanna do it? Because if you do, you basically get all your resources back, but then you have no answer to Honest or Crane, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't know. Nah, so you do it. Yeah, why not? I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. You can Turge, pitch Marks, no, pitch Lind, okay, gun, yeah, pitch Lind, obviously. Okay, Tanky for Yamato attack, the biggest one, and then, yep, Torrential, so you search for Mikazuchi, yeah. This card is so good. When I played Bujin long time ago, I've always felt like this card was so good. It gave the deck, staying power. You can access the one of the best spells in the format, Incarnation. So yeah, a really big fan of this card. Tears is a good draw. Tears is a good draw because now you're gonna force the torrential. You're gonna force the torrential without your normal summon. You can search for Pike. Pike for Gund. Search. Well, if he's on an Undineless version, probably search for Marksman, yeah. And then Gund for Turge. And Turge. Get back Gund, yeah. And here there's no protection. I think Black Ship is really good here. Excite Knight, okay. Excite Knight doesn't really do anything, right? Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna take any damage. Why would you summon Mikazuchi? Sorry, I got get a bit confused, but I mean, yeah, it doesn't really change anything when it's your normal summon, but yeah, probably nothing would have probably happened to it, so yeah, misclick. Obviously you can brink a level 4 when you're targeting a level 3. Land. And what are you doing here? Is it Pike? Is it Pike again? There's another Pike, because you have 2 here. Obviously it's only playing 1 Turge. It's Pike, eh? Pike, Pitch Infantry. Pitch Guns, yeah. Yeah, sure. And then Turge, Pitch Infantry to get back Guns again. That's a nice loop that you can get here. Obviously it's a loop that comes to an end because there's no more Pikes in the deck, but it's pretty nice. Do you commit into an Xyz? I don't feel like you do. There's a point where you leave the damage step, no, right? Turge is not summoned in the damage step here. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can bottomless here. I don't think that Turge is summoned in the damage step. Pike, sure. Infantry, yeah. No, Guns, yeah, okay. But then when Gun activates, I think we left the damage step. Yeah, I'm not sure. Level will change, yeah, to dump Tidal, obviously. Which is one of the strengths of the Undyne version, is the easy access to Tidal. Oh, top deck Megalo is insane. Top deck Megalo is insane, but yeah, since didn't comment on it, but since we had to bottomless the level of chain, this Carnation would have changed a lot and wasn't activate. I mean, did we have to bottomless this level vol? And Tidal is a nice card, but yeah, I think that we were in a pretty rough spot anyway. But here, yeah, 47, 48. So yep, it's GG. So Devi is gonna take this. Devi is gonna take this first game. Let's see who wins the second game between Baba Whiplash. I'm gonna call him Baba, and Kimi Catherine. So Kimi. So Baba is my teammate here, and Kimi is our opponent, who's also on Bujin. So yeah, we can see here that Baba, yeah, is a great modern player, so not used to drawing the 6th card, so yeah, drew it after selling armor, but yeah, it doesn't change anything. Classic gear hand, you draw the little ones before you draw gear. Soul Charge, another armor, and Solemn Warning. Warning is great against Bujin. It's such a tempo loss when you have it. So yeah. Double Tenki, Crane Lance, Yamato. Okay. Yeah, so Tenki to bait interaction. Obviously Search Yamato. Obviously Solemn Warning, and then set to end pass. Draw Ignition, yeah, that's the artifact version that it was experimenting with at that time. Had its merits, but I think you have too many bricks in the deck to really get a full use of it. Yep. So breakthrough. Yeah, you do it on Gear Gigant, but you drew Ignition. Maybe you don't want to reveal, but you drew Ignition. I mean, you do Ignition against a back row. Blind Ignition. It's Purging, so it's probably not an artifact card. Even if it is, it's not really that big of a deal. If it's more attack, you have a face down armor. Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. So Lance is gonna get chained, so we take less damage. Yeah, but I still feel like you blind Ignition to hit a back row, and then you Giano MK2 to make a look card. Bait the other. I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight when we know that none of those are torrential. But even if it is torrential, you have Soul Charge. I mean, it's, yeah, I don't know. But it's gonna pan out well because there's the Ignition for Tenki. Yamato's gonna attack. Get itself to 36, even though it was at 19. It doesn't double the current attack, but the original attack. And then search Hair, discard Hair. Not search Crane. Why wouldn't you search Crane? But Gear is not gonna out it by destroying it. It's gonna out it by getting over it in battle, and Hair and Crane are pretty interchangeable at this point. Yeah, you keep the Quillin in hand just in case you draw Yerume or something like that. Yeah, why not? So Crow is nice. Obviously doesn't do anything against Air, but does something against Turtle. But I mean, Gear can out Yamato Hair so easily. You go into Black Sheep. Yep. You go into Black Sheep and why do you do this on summon? You're gonna do it anyway, I mean, but doesn't commit. Okay. Tenki, Hirome. And now you can normal summon Quillin and go for a Hirome, right? Okay, now you're on. Susano. Yeah, I mean, this clears the whole board. We know this is a more attack. Yeah, it's looking pretty grim. Even though there's the Soul Charge, I guess. Why doesn't give? Yeah, just shortcutting, I guess. And those are pretty big Bujins at this point. And Soul Charge for 2. Exciting, probably. Yeah. And that's a big Exciting. Very, very big, very clutch. And now we can set up again. Duality. Yeah, you cannot take Carnation. This is lethal. So you have to take Upstart and pray. Yeah, that's a pretty big Excitant. Yeah. Torrential is nice, but we don't know what that is. So yeah, take the ignition, and that's not game quite yet, I think, but it's pretty close to it. So that's 300, 1930, so that's 33. So Catherine is at 1,000. Yeah, that's it, 1,000. Summon Excel, armor flip itself. I mean, at this point we could flip this. You could set the soul charge to bluff something, because here Carnation is just game, but well, it would have been game anyways. But then you would have activated it, so yeah, there's not a bluff. But yeah, you can get scared. You know, you can scare your opponent when you set blind sets like this. You can scare your opponent, and maybe he goes for Kagutsushi and plays a bit more conservatively. Yeah, the chances were low, but still. But yeah, that's game. So yeah. Here, Baba's gonna go first. The best card in the deck is here, but there's a Solemn Warning. Obviously, the timing won't be right to solemn the Gear, but the Gear Gigantex has very low chances of resolving with a warning and a black horn, and the rest of the hand is very bad. God, it sucks. 2 crows. Yeah, that's only the Gear, so you live and die by the gear. Duality before activating Tenki. I feel like you always take Yamato, so you Tenki. If this is Typhoon or Ignition, you Duality then. But if you Duality first, you do not have Yamato, or you reveal Yamato, but you don't take it because there's Tenki, then yeah, it would be a misplay, sure. But then yeah, basically here you lose a turn if this gets outed. So maybe not. Yeah, maybe the ordering was a bit wrong. The sequencing. Sorry. Anyways, it's not gonna matter. I think this game is lost already for our Baba. Yeah, you should crow this here in end phase. And yeah, gonna hit the black horn. Probably soul charge. No, ignition on warning. Yeah. Yeah. Zenmains. Zenmains is strong against Bujin. Zenmains is really strong against Bujin because they have no easy way to out it. Aside from maybe, yeah, black sheep, sorry. Yeah, that's the only way. But yeah, we know that's a more attack, which is, showcasing in real time the flaws of the Gear artifact idea. You just load your deck with so much stuff that is so bad to draw. Like, the more, see, case in point, you draw a more attack here, it doesn't do anything, and your soul charge, you're gonna get obliterated by anything that Catherine's gonna play. Cannot activate Carnation here. Yeah, but read your cards, man. Sorry. It's an easy mistake to do. I mean, when you haven't played in a bit, to just not remember what your cards do. It happens to any of us. So Crane, pitch up start. Of course, you don't want to give your opponent life points when the only out to this situation could be, soul charge. Yeah, soul charge, desperation, soul charge. What does it do? I mean, it doesn't do anything. Why didn't we activate this mind control? I mean, here you mind control the black sheep, effect on Yamato, and even if this gets negated, so he wants to keep his Yamato, yeah, this was poorly played. I'm sorry, and I have to be honest. This was not played optimally, even though in the end, the hand was so bad. The hand was so bad, like the gear, you live and die by the gear, but there's black hole warning. Yeah, nothing you can really do. So that's 1-1 on the series. Kimi gets the win here. So let's go for the third match of the of the series. So we have Quicos, my friend Quicos, against Kyle. Very nice guy, Kyle. Played against him in London, I think. Played Clifford, or it was Challengers, I don't know anymore. So yeah, let's go over the decks. So it's Bujin Artifact. Very good version of Bujin, I think. That's been piloted expertly for quite a while now by my fellow countryman, Nico Buzuyok. Very good, very good guy and very good player. So that's the Dream Open, and you really showcase the strength of this version. Like, of course, you don't have the big pushes. Quicos at that time was still on Bujin Carnation. But he isn't at the moment. I think Nico Buzuyok isn't as well. But yeah, you're really showcasing the strength of the deck here. Yamato, Sanctum, Torrential, and then Bigger Ignition. So that's Moral, and then Pleiades on the next turn. I mean, it's really good. Set Void, set Torrential, and set Scythe. And at this moment, I think Kyle's saying to himself, "Man, this Void is not good." But it's an artifact. It's an artifact in front of him, so it's not that bad. Yeah, Sanctum here I think is not great. And I get you want to keep the most cards hidden, but here Sanctum for just moral attack. It doesn't. I mean, how do I phrase this? It doesn't give the chance for Kyle to, activate his back rows, because here you're just gonna attack next turn, force the back rows, go for the ignition on big attack, set moral. You out the Cardi and you have Pleiades or Tiras next turn. And you don't care about more attack. You don't care about Scythe. You're playing Bujins. It's the only deck in the meta, I think, that doesn't really care about more attack because you have hair. It was on Mikazuchi at that time as well. Okay, interesting. But you see what I mean here. If we'd have gone for this, not only would we have a bigger push, because this would be 1400 more, but we could have gone for Tiras or for Pleiades and bait Void, bait Torrential. We don't really care about Torrential because we got Mika as well. So yeah, and we still would have had Sanctum. I mean, Sanctum is so good. Well, yeah, I mean, Kyle has nothing, so it's an easy game, I think. Still. Dionea, yeah. But then, why don't we want to summon them in our Mikazuchis, man? Why don't we want to do it? Here, you summon Mikazuchi, and you just attack 2 times. No? Because here, this is gonna lose maybe to Void, which is something that... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna lose because, yeah, Kyle has nothing once again. I don't know if Quicos is on more than 2 moral attacks. Maybe he was still at that time. Yeah, he is. Okay. But it's gonna blind against the ignition, so that's a battle phase you won't have. I mean, you didn't have to do it, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was that necessary. Because once again, you have a hair and a crane, so you don't really care about torrential. You don't really care about bottomless. Nobody's playing Mirror Force or Dimensional Prison in this format. I mean, yeah. This Soul Charge can set this trap hole back, but this is just to gain one turn, and then you can just summon Crane and attack. Yeah. You don't have to go to the extra deck. As I said, nobody's playing Mirror Force, so yeah, just attack. You have lethal. So Quicos takes this game with a very good hand, but now Kyle's hand is much better than last game. Anytime you open Mirmilio in hat, you're goaded. Set breakthrough, set 4 probably. You saw artifacts, so you keep void, and of course you want to set everything. There's no point in holding back. There's no heavy storm in this format, thankfully. You're gonna let this go through. I mean, you have bottom for Yamato, so sure. But now it's heartbreaking because, oh no, Mikada needs Yamato to be sent to grave. Yeah, just remember that. Yeah. Yeah, this is not gonna do it. 32, and now you're on the back foot. Yeah, you're so much on the back foot. Yamato, normal summon. Yeah, there's nothing really. You can break through in end phase. You can break through here as well. Doesn't change anything. I mean, he's gonna activate it anyway, so you're not wasting that breakthrough. Okay. Yeah, I think yeah. You have to be aggressive and attack the Yamato when you have the chance. And yep, this is standard. But yeah, why is this Mikazuchi special summoned in attack? Hello? Summon it in defense and it doesn't get outed. Because now we just wasted the Mikazuchi. Yeah, that's a terrible misplay. Yeah, we just wasted the Mikazuchi here. Because say we summoned it in defense, then we could summon here next turn and go for Dweller, which gets under the void that we know exists. Yeah. Yeah, now that we know that most hands are not in here anymore. This is free. Yeah, this is looking good for our friend Quicos here. What is he thinking about? Already normal summon, man. Yeah, that's Quicos for you. Sometimes he gets deep in the tank for nothing, and yeah, I mean, naturally you want to get to the most optimal lines, but yeah, sometimes the plays are straightforward, you know. So Cardcard's gonna draw 2. Yeah, I mean, Kyle is not drawing the best here. It's okay, but Quicos is kind of in great spot. Yeah, this ignition was not good. Quicos was new in the format at that point. You know, we've all made that mistake to just blind ignition in this matchup, because here there's just artifact. The call is free for Mirmilio. Yeah. And this gets him back in the game, obviously. Because now you have to waste a crane. Now you have to waste a crane on this. In main 2, you can call and get rid of Yamato. Yeah, and this wouldn't have happened if we didn't waste the ignition on a more attack and just waited until call was activated, because call is in most hat lists, because obviously it's great with more attack and scythe. Yep. So Quicos takes the L here. We have double cyclone, turtle, crane, more attack, coronation, ice hand, torrential, debunk, warning, and soul charge. This would have been great going first, no? And ice hand is always awkward going first because it gets outed so easily. But you can always slow roll it and wait until there's back row. But yeah, this doesn't. Yeah, Kyle is basically praying that there's no Yamato next in the first turn, but here there's one. Yeah, you always take Yamato over Sanctum when you're playing Bujins. With the deck is kind of awkward sometimes because you're playing Bujin when you're playing Bujin Fact, because I mean Bujin is great. This video is at this point, like we're 51 minutes in. This video is basically a Bujin masterclass. We've only seen Yamato like 3 times already. I promise the next match is not Bujin. At least I think it is not. I hope it isn't. Nah. Nah, you don't. You don't do that. Why would you do that? Yeah, it turns Carnation on, but you just get torrential here, right? Yeah, you get torrential, then you have nothing left. You get torrential, you have nothing left. There's soul charge. You only have a double cyclone and 2 cranes. Yeah. Yeah, I think you were fine with just leaving Yamato. You have hair. Yeah, that was not great. That was not great here. I mean, you have Yamato on board. You have hair. Just sit on Yamato, man. That's what your deck does. I don't know. Oh, he had turtle, but turtle can activate in damage step in hat format, so it doesn't change anything. I'm gonna fast forward here because that's kind of a rough setup. Yeah, you make a big hole to wall, but it doesn't wall anything. And at this point, it's kind of over, I think, because the yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not speaking, but I'm just thinking of things to say, because this is a stalemate. That's quite a funny stalemate. Kyle on 300. Yeah, he does it. Yeah, the advantage is overwhelming at that point. It's only a matter of time, I think. Ignition, Sanctum. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, everything in attack for game. Well, it's not game yet, but there it is. Sanctum moral, but there's breakthrough, because he kept the breakthrough. He let that's something that I didn't mention. He kept the breakthrough. He didn't activate it when Yamato was activating its effect, recognizing that he didn't really need to prevent Quicos resolving the Yamato. He already had so many stuff in the grave. So we are out officially of the Bujin hellscape, and we're gonna go to the grown-ups playing field with Wind Up 44, my dear friend Wind Up 44, against Gabibbo Belandi. So obviously, if you know who Wind Up is, he's on spellbooks, has been his whole life. I've seen him play other stuff, Shadows namely, but yeah, basically he's been playing spellbooks when the deck was created up till that point, and never gave up on it, and came back into the game just to play spellbooks again when we told him that format was a thing. So yeah, to me the greatest spellbook player on earth, but that's my opinion. And Gabibbo is gonna be on hat, obviously, which is not a great matchup for spellbooks because the hands are good, despite what you would think when fate exists. But you don't want to fate everything. You cannot fate everything that is here. There's Pleiades, the back row. A lot of stuff that you want to get rid of with fate, and the hands. It always feels weird when you have to out a hand with fate. So here, Crescent reveal secret, wisdom, and fate. Get fate. Of course, you never get secrets when you really need it, like here. Master, copy Crescent, sorry, secrets, wisdom, master, get wisdom, which is good because now we can world and blow up the board, which, yeah, there's only Nightmare, so it's gonna blow up the board. I mean, you have to blow up the board here, right? You kinda have to blow up the board here. I was pressing pause. Yeah, you have to blow up the board here, and then you set up tower. You lose your world, but it's not that big of a deal because you can reveal. Yeah, you lose your world, but that's not that big of a deal because you're not gonna get OTK'd. You have Fiendish. This doesn't do anything, and next turn this gets outed by Fate. Speaking tower set 2, the Bluff Crescent is kind of funny. So this is big damage, but once again you don't really care. This wisdom is gonna get you a second draw with tower, that's for sure. Unless Gabibbo does something about it, like Exciting, but yeah, gonna go for the Exciting, but think that's a losing play. Yeah, there's the Fiendish anyways, but even though this would have been 3, so you could summon Justice, and then you're basically forced to do it again. Well, I mean, in that case, then the set Crescent would have bitten Wind Up in the ass. Sorry. Second row of tower is Crescent. That's excellent. But yeah, this is game. The advantage is overwhelming at that point. You get Blue Boy. Blue Boy get life probably. Yeah. Power. Master copy power. 250. Your fate. Yeah, what's he thinking for? I mean, what is he thinking for? Yeah, and then get back fate and secrets, obviously. Attack. Search for 2 cards. Eternity. Master. yeah, that's spellbooks for you. Once you get the engine rolling, it's pretty damn impossible to. Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. It's pretty damn impossible to stop. Noticing that people's playing at 41 cards, which is quite common in modern, but not really in retro formats. I'm wondering what the 41st card is, because it's pretty easy to stop at 40 in hats. I mean, the list is pretty standard at that point. Yeah, kind of curious now. Windup's gonna open a good hand. Honestly, it's good. Secrets, wisdom, protecting the justice, but there's sanctum, so that's unfortunate. There was a case to just shotgun the sanctum to kill the justice on normal summon. Sorry, because there's no life, there's no wisdom. I could be playing Forbidden Chalice, I guess, but nobody really does that, especially not spellbook players. But here, yeah, you gain nothing, I think, to not sanctum away this. Because here it's a free master, so it's a free add. It's a free tower basically. It's not gonna activate tower, obviously now, but once he sees the sanctum go, he was scared of priestess, which is fair, I guess. But you have deep dark and bottomless, so you can bottomless, wisdom, chain deep dark. So you use 2 cards for priestess, but you got rid of justice and you get rid of priestess. I think it's a fair trade. And plus the master is not activated, so this Diddy Crow actually trades well with tower. So yeah, I think it was valid to do that actually. Because tower doesn't target. So if there's 2, there's no problem. If there's 2, that's not a problem. But yeah, I didn't see the Transmigration Prophecy, so yeah, doesn't really matter. But yeah, you Justice Master, and then on standby there's no spellcaster, so you cannot cycle the secrets. Yeah, so yeah, doesn't really change my point, because you just gave him a free search, basically, by not moral attacking. it's not a word, by not moral attacking the justice on summon. But yeah, so wind up is low. Spellbook Magician is cool, can be protected. You also could have Torrential, but I mean, you don't really want to do that. You don't really want to lose your blue boy. He's your only hope. Master gonna get crowed, and I think that's game, right? There's no way we can prevent the damage that's about to come. Yeah. Oh, that's a great torrential. That's a great torrential, and that's something that could have been prevented. We had game on board, man. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Not for me, obviously, because I want Wind Up to win, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the perks of being someone that's known, that your list is known, and I think everyone knew that Wind Up is on Mirror Force. So you have to pick one, and I mean, Mirror Force is at 2 in hat format, and Torrential is at 1. So you're playing, the odds are in your favor. But yeah, and I think we're gonna see the power of the world again. The world is on your side. So Deep Dark, Chain, that's the play I mentioned earlier. Get Secrets, Get Master, and set. And Ice Hand is a very good draw, actually. Very good. That's the Findish, but you get to keep your Dionia for another time. Oh, okay. I think I would have gone for Ice Hand, right? Because I mean, if you say you're gonna play around Mirror Force, play around Mirror Force the whole game, right? This doesn't play around Mirror Force. What are you gonna do? You're gonna do a cowboy and run into the traps that it didn't activate once in this game, so it probably was Trap Tricks Trapple Nightmare, which it is. I mean, as I said earlier, it's easy to say this in hindsight when you know the set cards and all, but I think if my spellbook opponent isn't activating a single trap, I mean a trap that he set multiple turns ago, a single time whenever I play, it's probably something like Trap Tricks Trapple Nightmare. Say that 10 times. Trap Tricks Trapple Nightmare. Man, those names. But here, I mean, Wind Up is gonna run away with the game, even though he's at 600 life. Because now the Blue Boy train is rolling and there's nothing you can do against it. And Temperance, get Priestess. Priestess, you probably pop your Blue Boy, right? I don't know. Probably? Can you? Yeah, you can. You probably attack and then main phase 2 you pop your Blue Boy to not be very low at life. To not die to just normal summon hand. Leo. You have the Mirror Force. And once again, going back to that turn where well, it doesn't change anything, but when that Dionia was under Findish, and if it had been an Ice Hand, Wind Up would have wasted a Findish on an Ice Hand to not die, and then Priestess wouldn't have outed the board so easily. So yeah, I think it's a shame. But yeah, here there's nothing that Wind Up can do. So it's 1-1. Reminder that it's 2-1 on the week. So if Wind Up loses here, it's Super Team Buddy Force who's gonna take the week, but we are still gonna watch the last match for the pleasure of watching a good match. So Wind Up gets the start. It's I want to say it's a good hand, but at the same time it's very, very engine heavy, and it doesn't really do anything. Of course, you don't reveal Wisdom with Priestess to conceal that you have it, to bluff something else. Doesn't set the way out tap. Now that's interesting. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a slow card. It's a slow card anyways. You have a terrible hand. Might as well, no? Because I mean, you have Typhoon, so lone back row is not that threatening, but anyways, if you don't set your traps when you have the chance, what do you gain from it? I'm curious. Okay, so it takes the choice. Yeah, I mean, you have to kill your own Moltec. This Trap Tricks Trapple Nightmare is a bit late, but we have Power Master to out them all. I didn't mention it, but yeah, Gabibo's hand is terrible, man. It's terrible. Soul Charge is nice, but you have to find a way to kill your second more attack. But this is gonna be double power to out the moral. So power on Blue Boy. Oh no, it's not gonna go for that actually. Okay. Yeah, respecting the back row, preferring to set up Fate Tower anyway. I mean, it doesn't really change anything. I think you turn your blue boys into a bigger spellcaster in Downerd. Very big spellcaster, and Ionia's not gonna do it. I mean, yeah, at this point it's GG, right? Yeah, and I'm not gonna say that it would have changed everything if Gabibo had set this wiretap on his first turn, because Wind Up didn't activate any traps, but yeah, it wouldn't have prompted Wind Up to get rid of it with wiretap, and maybe would have waited to fate another thing, and then you could have got him with wiretap on Nightmare. I don't know. With ifs, we could put Paris in a bottle, as we say in France. But yeah, at this point it's kind of written. Wind Up is gonna run away with this one. The advantage train is too much. It's too much, and it's impossible to come back from spellbook once the train gets rolling like this. You could draw literally anything. I mean, Fate is gonna banish everything that you do, every relevant thing that you do. Surprising that he didn't go for the monster here, because if it's a fire hand, it's probably still fine, and you can probably still fate the monster on your next turn here. You still wisdom set, yeah. Blue Boy. Yeah, you can probably still fate the monster. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen, eh? And then it's gonna be double priestess, just to be sure. Banish 3, banish the monster, yeah. Yeah, if you set up like this, yeah, of course, yeah. You know, Spellbook is such a complicated deck that sometimes it's really hard to, when you don't play it, I mean, it's really hard to see the optimal lines. And I mean, Wind Up is so good in the deck that, of course, yeah, if you set up 3-4 turns in advance like he often does, yeah, it's easy to see the lines. I don't know if how long was this? Yeah, 40 minutes, clean. They played at a reasonable pace, so yeah, it didn't think for a long time to set up this. So yeah, so it's 2-2. It's going down to the last game between Shabam 4 and my friend OSS 117, 117 in French, obviously. So it's gonna be, if I remember correctly, yeah, Gear against Lightsworn. So final match of this video, and the winner takes all. Let's go. Terrible hand for OSS here. I mean, it's Gear hands. Those cards in Gear, I don't like them. They make your hands so much worse. Well, I mean, this hand would have been bad anyways, but now you have so many normal summons. It's not that great. And if you have double accelerator, you can go into Gear Gigant and you can search something, but you have a nice hand that doesn't do anything, you know? If it had been a back row, it would have been better. Almost every time. Man, this hand is cracked. I didn't see this hand is cracked, man. Is this Edison format? Solar Recharge, draw Light Brigade, Minerva, Mill Blaster, Tempest. What is this, man? Wow. And you have Lumina. Thankfully, no Prio in head format, but still, wow, that is amazing. So summon, pay the cost, gets finish chained, but we can just foolish. Do we do that? We can foolish for a 4th name, but what do we foolish? Like Raiden? And slam the JD and hope it gets through? Don't think that's that easy, right? You have to have 5 monsters with different name. If this JD, as I said, there's no prio, so if this JD gets bottomed, it's kinda hard. Could be like Eclipse Wyvern, Summon Blaster, get over. That's interesting. Let's see what he does. It's definitely not that straightforward. Yeah, Wyvern. Banish JD. I don't think there's any other targets now that he's drawn Diabolos and JD. And it's past turn, okay. Interesting. But what do you want to set up here? Like you have 4 names, so you want to set up Diabolos, Minerva into Leo, which is notoriously hard to out for Georgia. Okay. Attacking into this Lumina always feels bad because, man, the one honest when it comes down, it's so terrible. But here, Rhapsody, Lumina, Blaster, okay. Blaster is interesting because Gear Gigant is huge now. It's a 35. It doesn't get outed by Blaster. You have Findy Shane. I feel like you remove another Lightsworn name, right? Because there's still Tempest. There's still Tempests. We don't know Minerva because he searched for Lila in the last turn, I think. But I mean, yeah, it is still a long ways to go. So normal summon Minerva. You probably banish a Light Ray to summon this Tempest and banish Wyvern to get back a JD. And you go for Leo now? No, you attack, okay. I wouldn't have done that. That's 4 names, sure, but... Yeah, I think that's 4 names, but at the same time, that's 4 names in main phase 2. If you summon the Tempest, get the JD, that's 4 names in main phase 1, and it doesn't lose to just Findy Shane. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Interesting that he didn't shotgun the gear. I feel like you always do because you don't want to. Exactly what happened here. That you don't want to draw one of the little ones. You want to get them out of deck as soon as possible. Yeah, that plays around Honest quite nicely. But here JD's coming, right? JD's coming, and it's coming hard. Sorry for that. But yeah, no joke, JD's coming. JD's coming for you, man. And put an MST back on top. That's heartbreaking. JD effect. That's a decent format. Man, this card is so good. And yeah, that's that game. Yeah, I mean, Light One is so great, man. When it gets hands like this, what can you do? OSS's hand was not that bad as well, but once again, that ice hand in his hand was so bad. Of course, it's matchup dependent, but man, it did absolutely nothing for him. It was just a brick. It could have been Moki Moki, it would have been the same thing. Yeah. Oh, man. What is this? Like, charge, recharge again. Jane attacks. End phase. Tries to mill 2. Does. Minerva's gonna mill 1 more. Mills the Eclipse Wyvern. Wow. That's terrifying, man. Like, JD's almost set up already. You have a ruler. So the third JD is here. But I mean, I say third, but for RSS is the first one because there's one engraved. But yeah, that's terrifying, man. Those opens, they're terrifying. So Arsenal, summon, is at 19, 23. Yeah, Rhapsody again. And here you banish the Lightsworn names, right? Yeah, you banish both Lightsworn names, and yeah, now we are so far from JD. Well, I mean, 2 names isn't that far, but Draw Wolf, the classic, it's not that far, but yeah, Blackhorn is great against Lightsworn. Special summon Light Ray. Yeah, I guess you have to. You don't want to risk. You don't want to risk it spinning the Blackhorn. Lumina, activate target. Yeah, you have to. There's no reason to not activate this Fiendish Chain. Giano MK2. Sorry. You go for Silver Mountain here, right? Yeah, Silver Mountain, attack. Then you get back Axel. I'm not a fan of this. Cause what do you fear now? You fear JD. Armor doesn't really do anything for you. I mean, you have Needle Sealing, sure. You have Needle Sealing, but this Lumina Engrave means JD, so this Needle Sealing, yeah, it's live, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Thinking about it, yeah, armor is probably good. But yeah, this Lumina forces the Needle Sealing. It was the correct play to not use Torrential, because if you lose your armor, but if Lila gets Torrential, it tells Shabam that the coast is clear, and you can slam JD, but then you have the Needle Sealing, so that's all breaking. Now, of course, it's gonna be a bit harder because gonna be a bit harder now, right? So first JD summon. Yeah, torrential. Second JD attack. This maxi was quite good, honestly. Honestly, this was quite a good maxi. This is nothing, so recharge. This is nothing, and OSS knows it. I mean, the only trap that Light Swan can realistically play is Needlebug, maybe Breakthrough, but nah, it's not real. And even if it's one Breakthrough, you have double Soul Charge. You have Soul Charge, so you have double Exceed. You can take the JD, make Dweller, set 2. Is this gear dead? It isn't. It isn't. That's huge. That's huge, man. Yeah, shotgun. The top deck. Top deck Light Swan is good. Soul Charge is not. Soul Charge is not. Why didn't we chain macro? That's what I'm wondering. Why didn't we? That's just, yeah, banish 2. Banish 2. Banish 2 from the top of the deck. I mean, what do you gain from doing it? What do you gain from doing it? I mean, nothing. You hide here. You can hide information. Yeah, you have Crow for the Lumina. Raiden, yeah, Crow. Yep, that's GG. Very nice games so far. I mean, Light Swan tends to do that. Tends to give you night game. Solar recharge again, man. And I keep forgetting that Lumina is not at 1 in this format. Oh, Mira Wolf, man. Do you maxi here? Yeah, you do, huh? Slow down as possible, or just get 2 draws. Cycle Reader is huge. Too bad for the draw, but you have to. You have to. It's too good to pass. It's 2 less names, it's 2 less mills. It's too good to pass, and the mills are bad. The mills are really bad. Black Horn in Light Swans. Okay. And this hand is good again. 2 Black Horns, Gear, another Maxi. Armor is awkward in face of a wolf, but Wyvern Mill is cool. How many names? 2, okay. These are great games. I mean, compared to the Bujin Fest we were having earlier in the video. I mean, you're rewarded for your patience if you made it this far. It's half an hour, not half an hour, an hour and a half of bangers. Yeah, that's what Bujin does to a man. Again, not activating the gear in. Again, not activating the gear in hand phase. I mean, what do you gain from it? Nothing. You just have more chances to draw your little ones, your little worthless ones. This is the 4. No, this is still the 3rd name. There's 4 Light Swans in grave. Diabolos is live, but JD still isn't. That's huge. This Cycle Reader, man, it was so good. And you could argue that you just make another Gear Gigant and make a add back the Cycle Reader. You could argue about that. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that way it doesn't get outdid by rulers, but yeah. That is still 2 names now. Yeah, there's 2 names because we banished the Lumina and the Tempest. Yeah, this attack is not sus at all. we knew it was coming. We are not surprised in the slightest. This Diablos is gonna eat the Black Horn like in game 2. And yeah, there's a gear hiding here. Yeah, there's a gear hiding, so that's game. And yeah, here we activated it in end phase because drawing the second little one would be not game ending, but it would be heartbreaking, to say the least. And here we can get Gigant and still not adding back the Psycho Reader. Okay, that was the time to do it. Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with... Honest is already gone. I'm not sure I agree with Blackhorn. Honest is already gone. I mean, it's OTK either way, so that's no big deal. However, you could optimize, you know. It would still have been OTK even if you didn't make Blackhorn, right? 600. No, it wasn't. My bad. I can count. But anyway, I mean, just it was dead. Nothing really could do. I think it was one. So yeah, Atlantic TCG is gonna take this one. 3-2. 3 being the number of Bujin matches we commented in a row today. I hope it's not gonna be the case for the next ones, but we'll just have to see for next week's. Subscribe to see how we did in the War League, the Hat War League, and I hope you like the format as much as I do. Tschüss!